What is good, everyone? Welcome to the channel. My name is Paul and I make videos about Japanese society, life, and culture, and I make sneaker videos. In fact, today's video hits both of those things perfectly, and I'll explain why in a moment. But if Japanese culture, society, life in Japan, or sneaker content is something that appeals to you, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, today I'm actually proving that I mess with brands that are not Nike and Jordan and the occasional Adidas. I have two pickups from Puma. This one in the box here is actually my first pickup of 2023 of any brand, and these I got back in December. They've been out for a while, but I finally pulled the trigger on getting a pair for myself. They are both Japan themed or Japan collaborated items. Basically the colorway, the design, the model has something to do with Japanese society or culture. So let's start off with the one I got back in December. This was a collaboration between Puma and apparently a pretty famous tattoo parlor in Tokyo called Three Tides Tattoo. Now, I don't know anything about tattoos. I don't have any tattoos because I don't ever want to be barred from Japanese hot springs or onsen. I don't ever want to not be allowed in because I have tattoos, which is still something that exists in Japanese society. But Japan does have its tattoo parlors. Well, obviously the traditional gangster tattoos are really famous in Japan. And the size of these shoes basically contain yokai or ghosts in the theme of as if they were done as a Japanese traditional tattoo. So obviously it's a pretty wild design, and it has a lot of harkening back to Japanese woodblock prints or ukiyo-e, and a lot of these monsters remind me of things you would see in prints by Kuniyoshi, for example, who did a lot of monster, yokai, ghost prints and the like. But having a pair of shoes that have the yokai monsters on the side in this very traditional style, and also the style that you would find in traditional tattoos, is pretty darn cool. As for the model itself, it is on the just classic Puma suede, and honestly I have always been a huge fan of Puma suede. This goes all the way back to high school when a lot of the cool kids in the 90s, yes, I was in high school in the 90s, were wearing Puma suedes. Like a lot of the people that I thought were really cool and had good fashion and good shoes were wearing Puma suedes, and I've just loved them ever since then. And even during the period of my life when I wasn't really collecting or buying sneakers, I always had at least one pair of Puma suedes in the closet. Okay, let's get into the new pair, which I haven't seen yet. Again, it is a Japan theme. It was done as a collaboration with Atmos, and I think these were actually an Atmos collaboration as well. I think this Three Tides Tattoo, Puma, and Atmos was a three-way collaboration. And if that's not true, I will have cut that part. If it's true, it's still in the video. Okay, let's get into the box. Now I see why many shoe tubers have a dedicated shoe box opening knife for their videos. Oh wow, okay, already completely different box. Check this out. It has this classic Japanese pattern on the box, and it actually says Puma made in Japan. So these were made right here in Japan, and I'm getting excited. I had no idea these came in a special box. I thought it was going to be another ordinary Puma box like this. As you can see on the side label, it says Suede Vintage MIJ made in Japan, Atmos Skajan. I'll explain what Skajan is in a moment, although you may already know what I'm talking about. Voila! We have the Puma suede made in Japan Skajan colorway. And what that means essentially is it's made to look like the silk embroidered Skajan jackets that are famous in Japan. It's basically a baseball style or an athletic style jacket that has these intricate, beautiful Japanese designs on them. Very often something like this with the bird and the sakura cherry blossoms, and on the back heel we have a Mount Fuji that says Japan, and then all of these different areas of Japan: Kyoto, Yokohama, Nagasaki, all of these things. These patterns that you typically find on one of those jackets. So when I saw this colorway and just how beautifully Japan themed it was, I thought, perfect pickup for someone like me who loves anything Japan themed. And I also like blue sneakers a lot, so this was also perfect for that. It's got the suede toe box, suede along the lace locks, suede on the back. Along the side panels, it actually feels like kind of a vinyl or some kind of synthetic textile. And then obviously you've got this thread embroidery all along the side. Now I'm going to say that the thread embroidery is probably not the same level of quality that you find on the really expensive jackets. If you want to buy a actual genuine Skajan jacket in Japan, it's probably going to cost you $500 to $800 for a really nice one. There's super cheapos that are usually manufactured not actually in Japan that you can get. That'll be like $100 to $200. I would recommend not settling for one of those. Get the real thing, the real hand embroidered ones made in Japan would be my recommendation if you ever come to Japan and decide you want to pick one of these up. And I'm sure they're floating around on like Grailed or Goat and other places outside of Japan as well. But definitely go for the real deal is my suggestion. As for other details, the sole of the shoe and the outsole is just absolutely typical Puma suede. Nothing different there at all. The branding on the back heel. The insoles is just like a yellow and white Puma insole. Nothing special there. It's too bad there aren't any extra laces that come with it, because I feel like there could be some fun lace swap ideas with these, but I guess I'll just have to buy some laces separately or steal them off of other shoes or something like that. Quality wise, I don't see anything in particular different between the suede of these two different versions. Perhaps this blue one is a little bit thicker and hairier than the black ones here, but not a huge difference, and I would say not a huge difference from your typical Puma suede. I paid retail for these. I think they're actually selling for under retail now, because I think for actual Japanese sneakerheads, getting a really Japan themed shoe is kind of like embarrassing in a way, maybe. So it's more appealing to people like me, or people who really love the Skajan style, because obviously the jackets have a certain level of popularity. But in terms of what I paid for them, they were not terribly cheap. It was a really weird pickup on Atmos because I entered the raffle for them and I got the notification that I had not won the raffle, but then I went to the Atmos app and saw that they were just sitting in my size. So I'm not sure how that works out, that I don't hit on the raffle, but then they're just available. I'm not really familiar with how Atmos does its raffles, so that was a little odd for me, but just happy that I got them. Bottom line is that, and I'm happy that I have these two in my collection, that I can really rock a Japan themed shoe when the mood takes me. And let me know what you think. Would you ever actually go through with wearing something like this? And do you also think they're as cool as I do? Okay, that's it. All I have to say. My first unboxing of Puma on the channel. Let us know in the comments what you think of the shoes, what you think of the video. Please like, subscribe, share, all those good things, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace.